Yeah, boy.
What's going on, guys? Today we'll be testing out ChatGPT and seeing exactly how much it really knows about Outward. We're going to start by asking it some questions to give a sort of build, and then we're going to move into things like what is the most challenging enemy and what are the best weapons. So let's not dilly-dally and get right into it. What is the best build in Outward? The first answer it gave was a Spellblade build, which would consist of a sword in one hand and spells in the other, offering versatility in close quarters and ranged combat. Select the best 3 skill trees for a Spellblade build. Rune Sage because it offers a variety of powerful spells and buffs. Mercenary because it complements your spell casting by offering more mobility in battle. Philosopher because it provides great utility and support through better mana management. What is the best sword for this build? Brand is a great sword as it is powerful and deals fire damage. Okay. Very high base damage and a chance to set enemies on fire. For those who don't know, Brand does not deal fire damage. The AI clearly knows of Brand as it brings it up constantly when talking about the best weapons, but that's a cold sword, not a fire one. Still, I'm okay with using it. Which faction should I take? Based on the information provided, it seems that a Spellblade build with a focus on magic and melee combat might be well suited for the heroic kingdom of Levant faction. By joining Levant, you can immerse yourself in a world of wealth, grandeur, and magical knowledge. Levant offers quests that involve diplomacy, trade, and spellcasting, which align with a Spellblade character who enjoys a luxurious and magical playstyle. Levant offers us more damage and great luxury, that's true, but it's in no way set up for magic users. I would have assumed Holy Mission would win here, but all factions offer something, so no major loss. Which armor should I use? The Czar armor set provides bonuses to frost damage and frost resistance, making it a good choice for a Spellblade build. Yes, so no. Czar armor offers no bonuses other than being tanky and high fire resistance. It has nothing to do with cold. But hey, maybe I'm the one who's confused here. I'm not a fan of the Czar helm. Can you select a different helm for me? The Horned Plate Helm is a heavy helmet that provides solid protection and greatly reduces damage taken. I am assuming it's talking about the Elite Plate Helm, which has horns on it. I was trying to get a helmet that didn't destroy our mana efficiency, but the AI really loves heavy armor apparently, so heavy armor it is. What is the best backpack for this build? The Mage Backpack is excellent for spellcasters as it provides additional storage and mana management, helping to replenish your mana more quickly during combat. So the Mage Backpack, which is more accurately called the Lightmender's Backpack, offers 10% more lightning damage to the user. It provides no mana regen, although I do wish it did, because that would be awesome. What 8 skills should be in my hotbar? Elemental Discharge, which we don't have. It seems the AI thinks this skill comes from the Rune Sage skill tree, but it actually comes from Kazite Spellblade skill tree. Mana Ward, Counter Strike, Enrage, Blood Bullet, Focus, Frost Bullet, Flash Onslaught. All of these are pretty good, however we are missing Puncture, which is insanely good with a sword. And of course Elemental Discharge we don't have, so I replaced it with Brace. What is the main drawback with this build? Stamina management, as you'll be engaging in melee combat which heavily relies on stamina. Also, mana consumption. Spellcasting consumes mana and casting powerful spells can quickly deplete your mana reserves. Since the AI decided to give us the most beefy armor for this build, that's all taken to the extreme. Czar armor is rough when it comes to stamina, and any type of heavy armor for a helmet is a bad idea when playing with mana regularly. What enemies should we avoid with this build? Some enemies in Outward have high resistances against specific elemental damage types. If your Spellblade build heavily relies on a specific element, such as fire or frost, you may struggle against enemies with high resistance or immunity to that element. It's important to diversify your damage sources or have alternate strategies to overcome such enemies. This is some pretty decent advice, although I was hoping it would be a bit more specific. What is the hardest enemy to defeat? Immaculates due to their high health and powerful attacks. Ghosts due to their high elemental damage. Ash Giants with their massive heavy hitting attacks. And any unique boss. Considering the options we're getting here, I'm not sure the AI knows about Caldera, since that region has much more difficult enemies. When should I go to Caldera? It's generally recommended to have a well-equipped character with decent combat skills before attempting to explore Caldera. So I guess it is aware of the region, but for some reason it's glossing over the actual enemies that exist there. What are some other swords I could use if Brand isn't my thing? The Palladium Sword is great for high base damage and good impact, or the Radiant Wolf Sword for its high elemental damage. The AI also mentioned something called the Mistfall Great Sword, which is unfortunately not a thing, and the Taunosaur Great Axe, which is great, but it's not a sword. What will be the most difficult cave for my build? The Jade Quarry, located in the Hollowed Marsh. The cave is home to numerous high-level enemies and can be difficult to navigate. I would 100% agree with this. As our current build has hardly any decay resistance, that cave would be an absolute nightmare. We can deal with the enemies okay because we have Brand, but Zar armor is not great in poison water. Is this build friendly to beginners? A Spellblade build in Outward can be manageable for beginners, but it may have a slightly steeper learning curve compared to some other playstyles. Managing resources is more challenging with this type of build. The versatility does allow you to adapt to different situations, making it still a viable option. So, how did the AI do? Considering we're a Spellblade, I would say not bad. I did have to take Internalized Lexicon to use the gun efficiently, but overall we have good healing, access to excellent sources of damage, and really nice defense. Looking at this build without playing it, it looks fantastic. However, it has one major issue: the resource management. Mercenary helps out with stamina quite a bit, but we cannot spam the sword too much or we'll be defenseless. Also, mana is very poor. Plus 50% extra mana cost on mage melee hybrids is really tough. I do have mana regen, so it sorta makes up for it, but still brutal. The backpack is completely useless to us as we must drop it in combat, and we aren't using lightning damage anyway. My least favorite thing easily is the fact that we don't have our runes on our hotbar, considering the AI didn't give those to us. We can go in our inventory and use them, but we just don't have easy access to them in battle. Still, I expected much worse. Now, how did the AI actually do with answering my questions? Not great. It was constantly confused about what weapons could do, like saying Brand deals fire damage. It also mixed up anything specific like what stats they backpacks have and what locations are where. The AI seems to really understand the basics of the game, such as how mechanics work, but when it comes to actual items, it mixes stuff up. At one point, it told me to use obsidian armor, which, while sounding really cool, is not a thing. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this and got a little something out of it. I've been having a little too much fun talking to this thing, which sounds kind of weird. It's just interesting to see what it thinks while also realizing it does tend to make some mistakes. For its first Outward build though, I have to say, I've seen worse. Not necessarily good, but not bad. Thanks for watching everybody, and I'll catch you next time.